Hello everyone, today I'll be showing you how to create your own appointment setting agent with the use of N8N and VAPI. As you can see, we are here in N8N right now, and this is the workflow I've created in the past. This specific workflow is going to be very useful for businesses that deal with a lot of appointments and get a lot of phone calls. This tutorial is going to consist of multiple parts, but in today's part, we're going to go over and recreate this workflow that you can see on your screen. This workflow is gonna make sure that our agent, when he's on the phone with the client and he hears a specific date of the preferred appointment, he goes to Google Calendar, checks the availability of that slot. If the slot is available, then the agent is gonna go ahead and create the event in the Google Calendar. If the slot is unavailable, then the agent is gonna come back to the person and say that the slot is unavailable. In the later videos, in the future parts, I'm gonna go ahead and build on top of that workflow to make our agent even more complex and more versatile. So whenever the slot is unavailable, for example, the agent would be able to offer some other slots and go check on Google Calendar if that slots are even available. But for now, we will focus on that, and you can guys go ahead and recreate it and maybe build on top of that yourself. But first we have to go to Claude and get the prompt for our agent. Also, if you've never used VAPI before or you're not familiar with N8N, I've created the videos in the past that you guys can go and check out. I try to go as simple as possible over the N8N and VAPI. So if you feel a bit confused, go to those videos and get back, and you can start building whatever we do in this video. So I already input the request for the prompts that I wanted. Hey, create a prompt for my cleaning service agent. The role of the agent will be to check the availability of the calendar and create the appointments based on the client needs. When it comes to date and time of the appointment, I want my agent to take time as is. In a week, in 1 day, tomorrow, March 3rd. This part is going to be very important and you will understand a bit later in the video. But let me make my screen a bit smaller. But this is basically the prompts that I got, and I already input in a VAPI agent. So I have my VAPI agent already set up. You basically can do the same thing. You can ask for a prompt, and you can just basically copy and paste it here. Then let's go transcribe it, voice functions, advanced analysis, all of that stuff I didn't touch, because at the end of the day, I just want to show you the functionality of this agent and nothing more, and shows that the steps can be taken in order to create event in Google and to check the availability in Google. Nothing super complicated when it comes to the agent itself. So once we copy and paste the script, the prompt in our VAPI, I'll go over it a bit slowly so you can maybe read it and stop it. But that's what I've created. Basically, Claude created. But there's one little thing that we want to do. So we want our agent, if you go back to N8N, you can see that we have a webhook that gets the information. Usually, at first we're going to set it up as immediately to even see that the webhook works or not. But we want our agent to get the information from one of the tools. I haven't spoken about tools before in my videos, but let me go and show you what it is. So if you go here in VAPI dashboard and you go workflows, phone numbers, you can see here the tools tab. So basically, the easiest way to think about it, whenever you talk to the agent, you don't want the agent to transfer the data right away to N8N saying, oh, the call was initiated or the call was ended. You want actually to get some data, gather some data. The way I want to do it in this video, I want to create some tool, kind of like a task for my agent. So whenever we talk to the agent on the phone and we say, hey, listen, I want to make an appointment, for example, tomorrow at 2 p.m., our agent will be like, oh, the person asked for an appointment for tomorrow at 2 p.m. Let me call this tool or complete this task, execute this task. So we can get the information. If you remember, in our prompt, we said that I want my agent to take time as is. The reason why I wanted my agent to take time as is because in this video I don't want to create a database or anything for my agent to understand the time. So it's safe to assume that our agent on the phone doesn't know what the exact time is right now. That's why, for example, I want the agent to take the time the way the client asked for it. For example, tomorrow in a week, because he can mess it up if he tries to kind of portray the time in the agent's own terms. So the easiest way is for him to create a tool, for us to create a tool. So once we say, hey, we want to make an appointment for tomorrow at 2 p.m., the webhook is gonna be called. So the webhook is gonna be called, and the webhook is gonna be executed, and the webhook is gonna have this data. Hey, they want tomorrow at 2 p.m. So with this node of date and time, we set the current time of a day wherever you guys are, because NA10 has that node. And we're gonna put it in OpenAI in ChatGPT basically. And with the use of ChatGPT, we can actually make an appointment in regards to the current time. For example, if today is January 20th and we want an appointment in a week, then ChatGPT will make it January 27th, the way the Google Calendar will read that information. Otherwise, it's all gonna break. It's not gonna make sense because VAPI will be like, oh, in a week, it's probably January 29th, for example, or whatever time the VAPI agent thinks it is now. So that to avoid any problem or any lags with the times, that's the easiest way to go around it. I hope you understand it, but if you have any questions regarding the time set, you can just comment down below and I'll get back to you. But the more I go, the deeper I go with this workflow, you'll have a better idea of what we're trying to do here. So let's create a tool. We're gonna create a custom tool, and let's start actually building our N8N workflow. So at first, we're gonna create a webhook. So we're gonna do post method, and listen, if you don't know how to create calls or you have any difficulty when it comes to making VAPI and N8N work, you can always go to VAPI documentation or API references, and there's plenty of information for you guys to understand how everything works. So HTTP method is going to be post, authentication none, and for now we're going to respond immediately. So let's copy and let's go to dashboard. So custom tool. We're going to paste it here. So basically, whenever this task is about to be performed or called, that's when the webhook is going to go and get executed. So, okay, save. No, save. We're going to go click next. So here, property name. So here we're going to get the properties that we need. Here I'm going to put date and time. Here, extract date and time of extract date and time that the client asked the appointment to be at. Then we're going to save it. Next, what is your tool name? Get calendar availability. My bad here. Get calendar availability. Let's just name it as get calendar. So in the description it will be like the agent has to extract date and time of the preferred appointment. So we want our tool to extract the date and times that the client asked for the appointment to be, and then the agent, with the help of description, is gonna go and check the availability of that slot in Google Calendar. Let's create next. Start my message. So basically, all of these messages, it's uh, in order to show that this task is being performed. For example, start message can be, "Hey, let me check the calendar." By your agent saying, "Hey, let me check the calendar," you as the creator of this agent can be like, "Oh, the agent is performing the task right now." So let me check our calendar real quick. Create. So get calendar. Okay, everything should be set. Now you're gonna go back to your assistants and you're gonna go to the agent that we created and you're gonna go back to functions and you're gonna choose this get calendar. And we have the test URL in that function. So the webhook is going to be triggered not when the call is performed, but it's going to be triggered when the get calendar task is being called. So let's try and test it real quick. We're going to press test workflow here.
Hey, this is Sarah with Orlando Cleaners. Who do I have pleasure speaking with?
Hey, my name is Ed. Can we make an appointment for one of your services real quick?
Of course, Seth. I'd be happy to help you with that. When would you like to schedule the cleaning service for?
Can we do tomorrow at 2 p.m.?
Let me check our calendar real quick.
So you saw?
We can
So as you can see, the task has been performed, and once the agent said, "Let me check the calendar real quick," that means that the tool is being performed. And the webhook wasn't called when we got a phone call with our agent. It got executed only after we asked for this appointment. So if you click at here in webhook, you can go here and check the data that we got. So you remember when we put, let's go back real quick, in functions, in tools. Get calendar, we have to get date and time, exact date and times that the client asked for the appointment to be at. And here you can see exact information that I gave the agent that I want an appointment for tomorrow at 2 p.m. Then the next note is going to be current date and time. Just let's put date and time. Current, get a current date. So let's test what it reads. As you can see, it's 7:19 p.m. That's the time I have right now here in USA. So that means it works and it reads the current date correctly. Next node is going to be OpenAI, and we're going to text the model, message the model. So here you'll have to connect your OpenAI account with the N8N. You're going to create a new credential and you're going to put your API key and all the information that N8N asks you for. And once you input it, you can connect it and start using your ChatGPT OpenAI account. Here's the resource is going to be text because we're going to be inputting the information in text. Operation is going to be a message model. Then from list is going to be, let's just choose ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo. And here, I'm not gonna waste time. Let's just go back to our appointment setters that we've created. And I'm just gonna copy this text right here. So this is the prompt that I'm asking ChatGPT OpenAI for, that I'm inputting. You guys can pause it and copy and paste it. So you're a professional appointment setter. Your goal is based on the user's input to create and give a correct appointments that later will be transferred to Google Calendar. First, it's going to be if any specific time is mentioned other than it should be EST. Always convert it to EST because I'm in the Eastern time zone, so I want all the requests for the appointments always be transferred to the time I'm in right now because we're going to be basically providing the services in our time zone. Then, if no time zone is mentioned, then always assume it's Eastern Standard Time. Third is going to be the input can be in various formats, so be aware tomorrow, in 2 weeks, 21st of January, and so on. Be mindful of the format of the output in Google Calendar. So basically, Google Calendar reads the output of the information when it comes to dates in its own way. So you have to be aware of that and make sure that your OpenAI is also aware of that, your model is aware of that. Just give me a date and time, an appointment, and this result. So once we put the text, it's going to be system, and then it's going to be the user. Whatever we basically given it, hey, that's what you're going to be working with this text as a system, and now we're going to give it an input of the appointment time. We can just copy here as well. My bad. And paste it right here. You can also pause and copy it. Current date and time is going to be the current dates that we have right now. So our model can go and create the appointment based on the current time we are in right now. Date and time of the appointment, you remember we got it somewhere here. We can just put date and time. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. So basically, our ChatGPT is going to be a professional appointment setter, but all it's going to do is going to read the current time and kind of add up the dates that we need. For example, if someone asks, hey, I want an appointment in a week or tomorrow, it will know today is this current date, so tomorrow is going to be plus 1 day at this time. So let's test the step. You remember we asked for tomorrow at 2 p.m. Today is February 19th, so it should be February 20th at 2 p.m. So as you can see, 2025, February 2nd month, 20th at 2 p.m. And that's the format we wanted to add. The next one is going to be OpenAI again. We're going to message model, text, the same thing. Here we're basically going to do just create an end time for our appointment. Our appointments, for example, is going to go for 45 minutes if it's Zoom meeting or any type of different services that you have to maybe provide online. Maybe you have to give a coaching or English lesson. So I want give me the same result, but 45 minutes later, just give me the result and nothing else. Yeah, I sound pretty angry right here, but it's going to be system. And the second message is going to be the user, our input. So our input is going to be the appointment start time, and it's going to be current date, not current date, I'm sorry. It's going to be content that we got from OpenAI. It's going to be February 20th, 2 p.m. So let's test the step. It has to give us 2:45 p.m. Oh, I forgot to choose one of the models we'll be using. It's going to be 3.5 Turbo as well. We can see that it worked. Everything seems fine. Now, I hope you understand why we asked the time for our agent to take time as is, because our agent, the VAPI itself, doesn't know the time, and the only way we want to do it now in this tutorial is to make sure that the time is understood through the workflow and not through the agent. Next node is going to be, let's wait for 5 seconds, 2.5 seconds, so we can process the information. And the other one is going to be Google Calendar. get availability in calendar. So I'm gonna I have my calendar already connected. We're gonna choose resources calendar, operation availability from list. This is my email, start time. Let's see, one. So for start time is gonna be the start times that we got from our OpenAI, and this is gonna be where is it? Start time here, content, and end time is gonna be the information we got from the second model. Let's go to my calendar real quick. If it's open right here, tomorrow is gonna be February 20th, and as you can see, I have nothing at 2 p.m. So let's test the workflow real quick. Let's test the nodes itself instead, since we have the information already. You see, the agent checked that the time is available. True, that means we can go ahead and create an event. Let's actually move this one, the wait node here. For 1 second. The reason why I'm doing that is because when I've created that workflow, I remember sometimes it would crash and make a mistake sometimes here and there. So I wanted to think about it for a second, just for the purpose of safety. It makes me feel better, making sure that everything works. Next is going to be if node. If so, if the time is available, we're gonna go one route. Basically, we're gonna let it pass through the checkpoint, and if the time is unavailable, we're not gonna let the agent pass through the checkpoint, and it's gonna say as a response, hey, the time is unavailable, meaning we have to go to the route of the slot being unavailable. 1 sec. So here we're gonna go to here, Boolean, and make sure that it's true. So basically, if the time is available true, that means we're gonna go past to one route. If it's not true, we're not gonna pass through the same route. We're gonna go another route. Let's see. Let's test the step. As you can see, it went to the true branch, meaning that that branch is gonna be for creation of our appointment. Then my computer crashed, but no worries. We're gonna pick up from wherever we left off our workflow here after the if node and our information. Once it passes through the true branch, we're gonna wanna add the respond to webhook node. The respond to webhook node basically gives back the information to VAPI based on what kind of branch it went through. We're gonna use our tool call ID, and in this case, we want to give back information to VAPI saying that the appointment is confirmed, that slot is available, and we're gonna create an event. Here is gonna be respond with JSON. If you guys don't know how to code, don't worry, you can always go to ChatGPT. That's what I did. Give me a simple JSON with the result in array. It has to contain tool call ID. Basically, the tool that we created has an ID, and based on that ID, we're gonna pass the information. We're gonna copy it. We're gonna paste it here, but instead of this, we're gonna just use our tool call. And for us to see if it works or not, we have to call the agent, but let's create an event in our Google Calendar since that spot is available and we want to get an event with our customer. Google Calendar. So you have different kinds of event actions. One of them, the calendar actions that we use, get availability in calendar. Here we're going to use create an event. This is the Google Calendar account I'll be using. You can always sign in with yours. Event type, resource type is going to be event. Operation is going to be create in our case from my list of calendar. And let's actually execute this part. So we have the information passed on to that node. Here we're gonna put the start time from our OpenAI model and the end time. So this is gonna be 45 minutes later. Let's go back to our Google Calendar. As you can see, nothing is tomorrow. Our schedule is pretty free. So let's test the step and see if it even creates. The output was positive. The event was created, meaning that the appointment set was successfully executed. Let's go back. In case of the event of the slot being unavailable, we want to give the response to webhook the exact same way, but with the message as, hey, the appointment is unavailable. And for to call ID, since I didn't pass the information to this node, it went through the true branch. Let's just go and copy that. It may not work right now. It won't work right now. But once we have the client that chooses the spot that isn't available, everything is going to work smoothly because the tool call ID won't change uh, regarding the event being available or not. So as you can see, we recreated successfully whatever I showed you in the first part of the video. I hope you guys learned from it. I hope it was easy for you. But hey, if you have any questions, just comment down below or email me or text me on my Instagram. I will be always more than happy to help you guys out. Let's go back. Let's try talking to the agent and see if everything works smoothly and we can create an event, or if we choose the spot that is unavailable. So before we go ahead and test the workflow we've created, I did a couple of changes I want to tell you about. Whenever you have respond to webhook, always make sure to go back to your webhook trigger and set the respond method as using respond to webhook node. If you put it as immediately, it will basically not work and your webhook is not going to get triggered. I also went back to VAPI and specifically to the tools that we've created, and I gave it a better description so the tool knows what task and how to perform the task that it's given. I also copied that part and I pasted in an assistant prompt as well, so the assistant knows how to communicate with the tools that we have. So let's go back right now. Let me move my camera. Let's choose the agents that we've created and let's talk to the agent and see if the workflow is being executed correctly and everything works smooth.
Sarah with Orlando Cleaners. Who do I have pleasure speaking with?
Hey, can we make an appointment for tomorrow at 4 p.m., please?
Let me check our calendar real quick. I'm sorry, but it looks like tomorrow at 4 p.m. is unavailable. Is there another time that...
So as you can see, I had 4 p.m. unavailable and the workflow went ahead, checked the Google Calendar, realized that that slot is unavailable, basically meaning that it passed it through the false branch with the answer as the date is unavailable. So that's what we heard back from our agent. Let's now try the slot that will be potentially available, which is going to be, for our case, 1 p.m. Let's talk with assistant again.
Sarah with Orlando Cleaners. Who do I have pleasure speaking with?
Hey, can we make an appointment for tomorrow at 1 p.m.?
Let me check our calendar real quick. Great news. Your appointment for tomorrow at 1 p.m. is confirmed. Could you please provide me with the service address?
So as you can see, it checked the calendar again, the slot was available, and it created an event in our calendar. So the workflows that I've created was successfully executed and everything went smooth. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as I said, if you have any questions, feel free to comment or email me or text me on my Instagram or any other socials that I have. I'll be more than happy to get back to you and answer your questions or even help you out. I hope you have a great rest of your day wherever you guys at. Have a good night.